The United States President Donald Trump threatens to impose 100% tariff to the BRICS countries if they insist on creating a new currency. Hamas and Israel complete their third hostages exchange as part of the ceasefire deal signed on January the 17th. And in Mexico, President Claudia Sheinbaum sent a request to the multinational technology company Google to create a name of the area that is incorrectly called the Gulf of America at the behest of the Trump administration. Hello and welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. Now we begin with the news, and stay with us. U.S. President Donald Trump issued a stern warning to BRICS member countries aimed their efforts to reduce their dependence on the U.S. dollar in international trade. In a publication on the social network Truth Social, the U.S. President assured that he would not allow the creation of an alternative currency or the backing of currencies that challenge the supremacy of the dollar, threatening to impose 100% tariff on members of the BRICS and exclude them from the U.S. market if they persist in their attempts. Since 2023, the BRICS has been discussing the possibility of creating a common currency backed by commodities, an initiative that, although still at theoretical stage, is causing concern in sectors of U.S. politics. In response to the threat issued by U.S. President Donald Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin reiterated that the BRICS are not discussing the creation of a common currency, but rather they are talking about new investments platforms. Putin further clarified that the objective of the new investments platform is to allow the joint investments in third countries. He also advised U.S. experts to explain in more details the BRICS agenda to President Trump. The Russian leader stressed that the BRICS are neither fighting against the dollar nor abandoning it. He points out that countries that are not allowed to work with the U.S. currency need to look for alternatives. A preliminary report by the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration on the deadly mid-air collision between an American airline jet and a military helicopter on Wednesday suggests that aviation safety procedures might have failed. According to the report, the helicopter was flying outside its approved path at the moment of the collision. The document also stated that the pilot of the passenger jet most likely did not see the helicopter as they made a turn towards the runway, and that the traffic controller was performing two jobs at the same time and was unable to keep the helicopter and the plane separate. Pilots, air traffic controllers, and safety experts have reportedly been warning for years about growing holes in the aviation systems that could lead to the kind of the crash that occurred on Wednesday, where 67 people lost their life. The U.S. government ordered on Thursday the freezing of federal aid funds earmarked for NGOs dedicated to assist migrants. According to a document published by the Department of Homeland Security, the agency expressed concern about the use of government funds, alluding to the possibility that they might be used to promote and induce illegal immigration. The directive instructs the department staff to do a review of all NGOs detailing with migration and investigate whether money is being used for a legal purpose. As a matter of fact, local authorities have pursued NGOs serving migrants in U.S. border cities. Leading German politicians areas calling for mass deportations of migrants in the country, echoing U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to expel undocumented aliens. The migrant issue is emerging as the number one priority for the German voters ahead of elections next month, while nation's chancellor and front-runner candidate Friedrich Merz pushed a non-binding parliamentary motion to carry out a crackdown on illegal aliens. The proposal included permanent border controls, ban on entry by anyone without valid documents, the detention of migrants who have been ordered to leave the country, and daily deportation flights. Let's take a very short break, but remember you can join us on our TikTok account as teleSUR English, where you'll be able to see news in different formats, news updates, and more. Stay tuned for more news. Welcome back to From the South. Hundreds of people have been evacuated due to the historic floods in Brittany, in the city of Rennes and its surroundings. There is a risk that the situation could be aggravated by the new rain front of the French Atlantic coast. The prefect of Britain, Amaury de Saint-Quentin, in declarations to the press, warned that rainfall will be between 20 and 40 liters of water per square meter. Since last Saturday, more than 600 people have been evacuated in the areas covered by the Battering and Such rivers. In addition, more than 200 inhabitants of Redon were asked to leave their homes to be sheltered in the upper part of the municipality. In view of the situation, the Meteorological Service maintains a three-department on red alert due to risk of flooding in certain rivers. In the Japanese city of Yashio, a 74-year-old truck driver was trapped in a sinkhole 10 meters wide and 6 meters deep. Rescue says it will take several days to reach the hole. Authorities said the hole continues to grow and has doubled its size to about 20 meters. Rescuers are building a ramp and digging in the surrounding area to ease access and remove accumulated debris in order to continue the rescue of the man who fell into the hole with his truck on Tuesday morning. Moreover, landslides and mudslides are making access to the area difficult. Experts warn that Paraguay is experiencing health-threatening temperatures with peaks of up to 37 degrees this summer. According to data compiled by experts, the country is no longer subtropical and is not in a tropical zone where the extreme heat is a constant. Attribute this situation to the destruction of ecosystems in various regions, a key factor in the current climate crisis. Points out that heat waves have tripled in the last 4 years as have extreme events such as droughts and floods. The authorities also stress that this increased response to a global pattern of climate warming that directly impacts the nation's quality of life and natural resources. The Institute of Hydrology, Meteorology and Environmental Studies of Colombia registered 177 forest fires in 103 municipalities of the country since the beginning of 2025. In a joint report with the National Risk Management Unit, the Institute informed that the blazes damaged 3,000 hectares of land in 24 Colombian departments. The report also said that 216 municipalities in 10 regions remains on red alert due to the high temperatures of the low rainfall season, which began in mid-December and will last until the end of March. In Argentina, thousands of people have been evacuated as a new forest fire breaks out near the town of El Bolsón in the province of Rio Negro. The flames broke out on Thursday afternoon and are not only affecting natural areas but are also threatening residential areas. In an official communique, the province of Rio Negro confirmed that a fire broke out in the area of La Confluencia near Rio Azul. Moving on, the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas and Israel has completed their third hostages exchange as part of the ceasefire deal signed on January the 17th. After a delay of a few hours, the Israeli occupation released 110 Palestinian hostages in compliance with the agreement. The Palestinian Commission for Detainees and Ex-Detainees, Formers, and the Palestinian Prisoner Society points out that in the group set free by the Israeli forces, there are 32 people serving life sentence, 48 serving various prison sentences, and at least 30 children. On the other hand, before the Palestinian hostages released, Hamas handed over the 3 Israeli prisoners to the International Red Cross as part of the exchange. The images showed a large crowd in Ramallah in the occupied West Bank, surrounding with joy the vehicles carrying the now ex-prisoners and offering them breath of flowers in colors of the Palestinian flag. According to the doctor Ahmed Al-Khalein, many of the prisoners showed obvious signs of physical abuse, ranging from broken ribs to extreme weight loss, and will be transferred to Ramallah Hospital. Among those released is Nasser al-Shawish, who was arrested during the second Intifada in 2002 and condemned to 5 life sentences. The United Nations urged the State of Israel to reserve its decisions to ban or warn from operating in Gaza, East Jerusalem, and the West Bank. The United Nations Office for Human Rights expressed its concern about the decision and warned of the serious impact the ban will have on essential services, including food distribution, medical care, and education in the occupied Palestinian territories. The international body also stressed the serious humanitarian rights consequences for tens of thousands of Palestinians and urged the Israeli government to repeal the law passed in October by the Israeli Knesset. The Israeli regime's decision has provoked international criticism, with humanitarian organizations warning of the negative repercussion it will have on Palestinian refugees who depend on the agency's services.
Fronterizo de Rafah con Egipto, cientos de miles de desplazados esperan hacinados la entrada de ayuda humanitaria.
Let's take our last break, but before we invite you to visit our YouTube channel at teleSUR English, where you'll be able to watch on interviews, sub stories, special broadcasts, and more. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. We'll find out your break, don't go away. Welcome back. The President of Panama, José Raúl Mulino, ruled out negotiations on the Panama Canal with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who will arrive in the country on the weekend. During his weekly conference, the President informed about the arrival of a troop U.S. diplomat on Saturday night and a meeting to be held with him on Sunday morning. Mulino points out that there was no definitive agenda yet, but reiterated that control and administration of the channel is non-negotiable and will not be part of the talks. The Panamanian President Mike Parton stressed there were other issues to discuss by both governments, such as irregular migration, organized crimes, money laundering, and drug trafficking, whose main market is in the U.S.
En torno al tema del canal es imposible. Yo no puedo negociar, y mucho menos abrir un proceso de negociación sobre el canal.
I cannot negotiate and much less open a negotiation process on the canal. That is settled. The canal belongs to Panama. We have common issues, and of course we can agree on many things. I have already mentioned migration, drug trafficking, money laundering, organized crime, and the increase in the export of drugs that pass through our waters to the United States.
Que pasa por nuestras aguas hacia Estados Unidos.
Also in Panama, activists protest in the capital ahead of the upcoming visit of U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Students and political organizations protest against the arrival of the head of the U.S. diplomacy, who plans to address the agenda of President Trump, who seeks to wrest control of the Panama Canal from the Central American country. During the day, patriotic collectives took part in a flag planting in the garden and near the Panamanian Canal Administration building. The peaceful demonstration was accompanied by slogans in defense of national sovereignty.
Pero definitivamente no vamos a ceder.
We will definitely not give an inch of our sovereignty, our independence, our autonomy to decide with whom Panama can and should negotiate the transit of the Panama Canal. We will not give an inch. Because really this is a step backwards in the history of our struggle to conquer our space, our land, our country, and it does not do justice to all the bloodshed, nor to our interests as a nation.
In Mexico, President Claudia Sheinbaum sent a request to the multinational technology company Google to correct the name of the area that is incorrectly called the Gulf of America at the behest of the Trump administration. In a letter to Google's chief executive officer, Sundar Pichai, the Mexican government urged the company to rectify the name of Gulf of Mexico in its Google Maps application, stressing its widely documented historical origin. The letter also mentions the existence of 12 bilateral treaties in force, which states that the name of Gulf of Mexico recognizes the international legal order and therefore its validation in the legal framework of both countries. Faced with the controversy, the company specified that a change to its maps will only be available to users accessing search engine from the United States.
Ya decían que ya se había cambiado el nombre de Golfo de... ¿Qué? Entonces le estamos enviando una carta a Google, primero para decirle, bueno...
We are sending a letter to Google, first to tell them, well, I guess Google Maps knows this international division. It should also know which is the body that names the international seas.
Los mares internacionales.
And changing topics, in Venezuela, Manuela, a theatrical piece that invites to note and value the history of Manuela Sáenz, who fought for freedom and justice in Latin America, was premiered on January the 30th. Created by the Hamaca Colectiva and with the dramaturgies by Indira Arbiolivo, the theater performance explores the last years of Sáenz's life, highlighting her legacy. Under the direction of Marcela Lunar, the play, which premiered on January the 30th at the Antonieta Colon Hall of the BRICS Central Cultural Center in Caracas, reflects on the life and memory of its iconic figure as a revolutionary and a woman who defied the social norms of her time. It aims to rescue her legacy, highlighting her crucial role in the struggle for independence and her courage in facing adversity in a male-dominated world. And an exhibition in Iran entitled Key Older Than Israel by photographer Wahad Ramezi presents the daily life of Palestinians and their hope of returning home. Ramezi, who visited several refugee camps in southern Lebanon, captured the reality of the displaced Palestinians through 70 photographs that tells the story of their resistance. The exhibition is divided into 4 sectors: displacements, resistance, lives, and return. It also reflects the experiences of several generations of Palestinians. This initiative seeks to offer an alternative perspective on the Palestinian situation, opposing the narrative of the Zionist regime and highlighting the struggle for freedom of the Palestinian people. We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also join us on our socials. We're on Facebook, on X, and on Instagram as well. For Telesur English, I'm from the South. I'm Ana Marrero. Thank you for watching.